Hello and welcome back to the creative world of logo design, the third section in our tutorial. And in this section, we'll be talking about the clients and the process behind a client wanting a logo and a designer inevitably designing a logo. So let's have a look. Your client's the big skyscraper, and here he is. He wants a logo done. He obviously doesn't have time to do it himself, wouldn't want to do it himself, but he has companies that he needs branding for. So, keeping that in mind, he's simply going to get a hold of our friends over here at We Are Logos #1. Now, there's a chance you might work for We Are Logos #1, but if not, this would be a team of professionals that are absolutely going to go in depth, brainstorm, come up with concepts, come up with ideas for logos based around ideas that the client gives them. Now, even if the client doesn't have a solid idea of what he wants, you can always tell We Are Logos #1 that he sells bug spray, and, well, the name of the company is called Wasp Away. Now, the logo company might do all sorts of things to help out the client here with obtaining a good company brand and logo. For example, they could launch social campaigns asking for visitor feedback and what they think about certain things. They could launch contests. Either way, they're going to be brainstorming out ideas, and we have a team of qualified professionals that will inevitably start hammering out some ideas that they will in turn want to pass on to a project manager. Now, it's the project manager's job to compile the team's information, and what she's going to want to do is hire a graphic designer or a number of graphic designers to start formulating something solid in the form of a logo, so as that our client has something to see and something to pick from, and her team has what they want done. And in a case like this, from the team's point of view, you're going to see a lot of Photoshop files. Photoshop files, Photoshop files. For some reason, everybody's all about Photoshop. So if they have Photoshop, they're going to do something in it, whether it be ideas, concepts, either or. You're going to come across a lot of Photoshop files. So with that in mind, here we have the client passing off a product and a demand for new company branding to a team which would specialize in company branding, logo design. That team, in turn, is going to formulate, investigate, do all sorts of things to come up with conceptuals and ideas. And within their team, they're going to get a project manager to handle basically the business in between this and a graphic designer who is going to need to start making the logos. So the PM is going to take all the information and send it off. Bing! You've got mail. Oh, look. It's a directive from the project manager. And apparently it looks like they're looking for a logo. So, within the directive, when a PM gets a hold of you, you'll have this, and of course, a whole bunch of Photoshop files. From there, you'll also have concepts that they've come up with, designed, and things you can work off of. And also, they might provide you with things like examples to other really good logos that they like, or maybe they're headed in that sort of direction on what they would like their photos or logos to look like. Either way, that is great. And we know when we go through the complete directive and all the things that the bottom line is we're dealing with a company that sells bug spray called Wasp Away. Now, depending on the situation you're in, you could be an independent contractor. You could be bidding on this contract and maybe expected to provide some examples of your work. You could be working with a team, or you could be working up against other contractors and other people that do the same thing. Either way, you're going to want to provide the best work possible and in a reasonably quick time frame. Therefore, our directive, we can see, will outline what the project manager is expecting at this point. And from that point, you can go on and you can see how many edits, variations. They want a professional logo. They've given you ideas. They're telling you what kind of a company it is. The branding, black, white. They want a wasp. Bug spray. I want our company name with a wasp in it. Make it black and white. We will need a third color, but we are unsure right now. Please provide some concept ideas. That would be a note from the client. And then they're going to send you to other examples, websites, and so on. And we're going to take a look here at what this consists of, so we know what the directive is, because the directive outlines what the client and the PM are after, and we have the ideas. So these ideas that we've been sent, we can use as inspiration, work off of. You would like to take their ideas and form them into something solid, revolving around those ideas. Example, they want a wasp in their logo, don't give them a lion instead. Okay? Kind of a waste of time there. Also here, catchlines. Now, your catchline we can use within the design process. This will help us, and it also makes things look nicer. You can see how things are going to be looking on packaging, because if that's what they use and they do have catchlines, well, then we investigate, and you're going to want to make sure that you know those things for their products. And the catchline, well, I think we decided on we kill bugs. I guess using that, passing it on down the line is what we're going to do. And then that way, we add this to all the information we have to work off of. And it's pretty much time for us to get busy. Now, Photoshop. Okay, seems like everybody likes to work with Photoshop and Photoshop files, so we can start constructing ourselves and everything we're doing in Photoshop if we'd like. I, on the other hand, once again, prefer Fireworks for doing anything, but Photoshop, Illustrator, Fireworks, it's kind of all the same thing. Now, what the designer is going to want to do first off the bat, as soon as they receive correspondence from a project manager, is they're immediately going to want to respond back. And time is of the essence because within business, of course, it is fast, and we want to let them know that we're on top of it and ready to do the work. Then that way we can iron out all the details as far as price, edits, and everything goes, and we can get underway with that. Obviously, until things are sorted out financially, you just never start a project uh, until that happens. And everything you do, you should be working off of locally, or you're going to want to start storing things in a drive. I like Google Drive. There's all sorts of different clouds where you can give clients and PMs access to work so they can see it, privileges. Uh, then they can maybe provide feedback and suggestions on maybe what they want or what they're looking for as you build out the media. Storing and sharing in the clouds is a great method to speed up workflow. And I'd like to draw your attention to a site called Podio.com. Now, this is a platform that's extremely good for streamlining workflow and Directive and posting projects and having a team work in unison, and that is Podio.com. Now let's do a Q&A on section 3 with regard to clients. Okay, the first question. What is the first thing you should do when you receive a directive from a project manager? Is it A, get coffee, B, respond back with a thank you, or C, start drawing out logos? If you chose B, respond back with a thank you, then you're right. That is the first thing you should do. You want to acknowledge to the PM or anyone you're dealing with that you've received the correspondence and you're ready to get to work. Question 2. Does a client need ideas before they have a logo created for them? A. Yes, a project cannot begin without a client idea. B. No, it is your job to provide the ideas if they have none. Well, if you chose B, then you're right, because that's true. It is your job. You should provide the ideas, the directive, and any sort of concepts if the client doesn't have any. Just base those things around the products they sell. Because after all, they might not be designers or interested in any of that aspect, or they might not be good at it. And in turn, it is your job to provide that service. Question 3. What was the product we will be working on? Is it A, a pizza company, B, a clothing store, or C, bug spray? Well, if you were paying attention to the directive, which you should be because it's extremely important, then you'd know we were working on bug spray. Yes, Wasp Away is designed to kill bugs dead, and we're going to be building a logo revolving around that. So join me in the last section, section 4, and we're going to get right into the design concepts and how to design logos.